What would your life look like if you stopped waiting for the perfect moment? If you stopped hesitating, second-guessing, delaying? How many dreams have you buried not because they were impossible, but because you didn't move? Not because you lacked the talent or the vision, but because you waited. You waited for motivation. You waited for the right time. You waited until you felt ready. And in that waiting, momentum died, opportunity passed, and the future you wanted slipped further out of reach. But here's the truth. The greatest threat to your goals is not failure, it's hesitation. It's the silence between your desire and your decision, that small moment when your instinct says go, but your doubt says wait. That's the moment that decides everything. That's where the battle is won or lost. Today, we draw the line. Because you were not born to sit still, you were not made to wait, you were built to act, to move, to create, and that part of you, the part that takes the first step, that pushes through fear, that makes no excuses, is still there. You just have to wake it up. This is not a motivational speech. This is a command. It's time to force yourself to act, not next week, not tomorrow, right now. Because the future you want is not waiting for you, it's running. And if you want to catch it, you're going to have to move. The lie of preparation. Most people don't fail because of lack of talent, intelligence, or opportunity. They fail because they never start. They spend years circling the runway, building plans, tweaking ideas, visualizing success, but they never take off. They confuse preparation with progress. They wait for a feeling they call motivation, and when it doesn't come, they stay stuck, comfortable, paralyzed. Motivation is a liar. It's a trap dressed in inspiration. It tells you you'll move when the time is right, but the time is never right. Life doesn't wait for your feelings to align. Success doesn't show up only when you're excited and energized, it shows up when you do. The cold truth: motivation fades, emotion changes, but discipline, action, that's what rewires everything. You've been conditioned to believe you need to feel inspired before you act. But the truth is, action creates inspiration. Motion creates momentum. You don't wait until you're confident to take the leap, you leap, and the confidence follows. The people who win. The people you admire, the ones who changed their lives, built empires, rewrote their stories. They weren't fearless. They just moved anyway. They understood this truth. The pain of doing something uncomfortable is nothing compared to the regret of staying still. Regret is the heaviest weight you will ever carry, and it's built one skipped action at a time, one excuse, one delay, one maybe tomorrow stacked on top of the next. And if you let that pile grow, it will bury you. The habit of hesitation. Hesitation is not just a delay, it's a decision. Every time you hesitate, even for a moment, your brain registers danger, not physical danger, but social, emotional, psychological risk. Your subconscious mind kicks in and says, wait, what if I fail? What will they think? What if I'm not ready? These questions start to shape your identity, and before you even take the first step, you've already convinced yourself to quit. But here's the secret nobody told you. Hesitation is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. It starts with a shift in identity. You stop seeing yourself as the hesitant thinker and start seeing yourself as the disciplined doer. You rewire your brain by pairing thought with immediate action, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Next time you feel fear, do the exact opposite of what your instinct says. Speak when you want to stay quiet. Move when you want to stay still. Commit when you want to wait. You have to train your nervous system that hesitation does not keep you safe, it keeps you stuck. The more you act in the face of uncertainty, the more your brain learns. This is who I am now. And from there, everything changes. The cure for fear. Hesitation dies when decisiveness becomes your identity. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need more confidence. You don't need permission. You need movement. That's it. And the faster you act, the faster fear fades. Action is the cure. Forward is the answer. So ask yourself, what would my life look like if I replaced every moment of hesitation with bold, intentional action? You already know the answer. It would be unrecognizable, unstoppable, unapologetic. And that's the version of you we're here to unlock. Discipline is freedom. Discipline is not punishment. It's not restriction. It's not the enemy of freedom. It's the creator of it. The people you admire, the legends whose names echo through time, they weren't driven by fleeting motivation. They were anchored by something deeper, relentless self-discipline, the kind that doesn't care how you feel today, the kind that shows up whether it's sunny or storming, the kind that acts not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Most people believe they need motivation to move, but that's a lie. Motivation is a mood. Discipline is a mindset. Motivation whispers, maybe later. Discipline demands now. Discipline is the quiet force behind every great transformation. It's what gets you out of bed at 5 and it's what turns pain into purpose, repetition into mastery, struggle into strength. It's the difference between the man who dreams and the man who achieves. The cold truth about failure. If you failed in the past, it's not because you weren't talented enough. It's because you didn't follow through. You stopped when it got hard, when your feelings shifted, when the voices of doubt got loud. But the disciplined man, he keeps showing up even when the fire is gone, even when no one is watching. Because he knows every rep, every word, every step taken in silence becomes a roar in the future. Discipline is your edge. It's the one thing you can control no matter your past, your pain, or your current position. You might not be the smartest. You might not be the fastest. But if you're the most consistent, you will win over time. Discipline makes talent irrelevant. So if you want to kill fear, become more disciplined than your doubt. Outwork your hesitation. Let your actions speak so loudly that fear no longer gets a word in. You don't have to feel like it. You just have to do it. One action at a time. One commitment at a time. That's how you become unstoppable. The perfect moment is a myth. How long have you been waiting? Waiting for the right time? Waiting for a sign? Waiting for motivation to strike like lightning? You tell yourself, once I'm ready, I'll go all in. But the reality is brutal. The more you wait, the more fear tightens its grip around your potential. The truth? There is no perfect moment. There never has been, and there never will be. The stars won't align. The conditions won't be perfect. You won't wake up one day magically fearless. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who move. It's a hard truth to accept, but if you don't act, you'll rot in the waiting room of life, watching others pass you by. Not because they were smarter, more talented, or better prepared, but because they acted while you hesitated. The courage to start messy. The people who win in life are not the ones who have it all figured out. They're the ones who have the courage to start messy. They take massive, imperfect action. They fail. They stumble. But they keep moving. And that movement builds momentum. That movement builds mastery. You don't become confident by waiting for it. You become confident by showing up, by doing the thing badly at first, and doing it again and again until fear has no choice but to step aside. Because momentum doesn't come from clarity, it comes from action. Want to write a book? Start writing even if it's garbage. Want to build a business? Start offering your service even if no one listens. Want to get in shape? Get up and walk even if you're exhausted. Start now, not later, not when it feels convenient. You don't need the whole staircase, just the first step. The real reason people fail. Do you know why most people never achieve their goals? It's not because they lack talent. It's not because they don't have potential. It's because they wait too long. They overthink. They obsess over the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect strategy, and they end up doing nothing at all. Perfection is a myth, and chasing it will paralyze you. It will chain you to mediocrity disguised as preparation. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop telling yourself that you need to know more, that you need to be more, that you need one more book, one more course, one more mentor before you begin. You want to know the truth? Everything you need is already inside of you, but it will only be activated through action. History's greatest achievers. Look at history's greatest achievers: Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk. Do you think they waited for certainty? Do you think they had all the answers before they began? No. They started with what they had. They made mistakes. They adjusted. They grew. But they were in motion. And that's what matters. Motion creates clarity. Action exposes the path. Every single step forward reveals the next step. It doesn't have to be clean. It doesn't have to be polished. It just has to be real. The voice of fear.